Hello students of Python. We are going to look at lists today. List in other programming languages is said to be an array. Here in Python, you people have to study lists, tuples, strings, dictionaries, out of which today we are going to cover list. List is actually a container that can store several values of one type at a time. List is mutable in nature. That means if you want to change an element in the list, you can easily change. While a string and tuples are immutable, you cannot make any changes. So let's look at how to create a list, how to use it, and what type of programming list slicing occurs. Let's see on Python screen. This is our Python screen on which we have to do list programming. I'll go to file, I'll take new window. And suppose I have been given a program to store 10 numbers in a list and print them. First, let's see a simple thing. Whenever you want to create a list, suppose I want to create a list by the name of A. A list is created by this syntax. A is equal to square bracket. Now, in order to input elements into it, we will be running a for loop for I in range 0, 10. And we will be inputting the numbers from the user a dot append. And here in input function, we'll be asking the user enter value. I can use here int because I want to take an integer array. After taking the input, I am outside the for loop. And then I can write here print A. So let's look at this. I'll be saving it by the name of list1.py. So we are going to enter 10 values at a time. And we have got the entire list here. So once you enter the values in a list, you can print it directly with the help of its name. Let's look at this program once more. What did we do? We had created a list. A is equal to square bracket. For I in range 0, 10, A dot append. Append is a function to keep on adding elements into your array. With the help of int input, we are taking values and it will be stored in the array one by one, starting from 0 position till 9. And last of all, outside the loop, we are going to print our array. Now let's look at the next program. Suppose a program is given to us that after entering 10 elements in the array, we have to put the squares in another array and cubes in third array. So this means we need 2 arrays more, 2 lists. But we will be inputting only in one array because the square of its elements have to be put in B list and the cube in C list. So for I in range 0, 10, again we are going to run so that B dot append is going to take the square of A. If you want, you can write AI into AI, or you can write AI, the exponentiation operator, and C dot append AI Q. So this means the A0 position which is containing a value, its square will be taken and put into B. Similarly, the same 0 position element will be taken, it will be calculated as a cube and put into C. So last of all, we can print our both the list directly or with the help of for loop, it's our choice. But it's better to print B separately and C. F5. So again, we are going to enter elements. So here we have got this entire list as a square of all the numbers which were present in A list and the cube of all the numbers which were present in the A list in C. Right. Now let's look at the next program. This program is clear to all of you, I think, because after inputting the array, we are going to run another loop in which we had put the square of all the numbers of A array into B and the cube of all the numbers in A array into C. Suppose we have to find out the largest and the smallest element in the array in the list A. So we will be taking two more variables, A0, both of them L and H. H is equal to L is equal to A0. Both of them are considering the number present at 0 position of the list is the highest and the lowest. Now here we'll be applying a logic. If A of I is greater than H, then H is equal to A of I. Else L is equal to A of I. But instead of writing else, it's better to write a condition if A of I is less than L. So outside the loop, we are going to print the highest is H, and here the lowest is L. So we are going to enter some elements. One, 7, 8, 9, 12, 56, 78, 49, 90, 100. So highest is 100 and lowest is 1. What logic did we apply in our program was we had kept H and L as A0. We are considering that the number present at A0 is the highest as well as the lowest. So we are comparing each and every element when the loop runs slowly and slowly from 0 till 9. All the elements one by one will be compared with H and L. If any of the element of AI is greater than H, H will immediately leave the previous position and take the new value of A of I. And if any of the element at L of A array is lower than that of L, L is going to take that lower value. So this will keep on continuing till all the 10 elements have been traversed. After that, we can print the highest and the lowest. Now let's look at a program in which we have to Write a program that inputs two lists and creates a third one that contains all elements of the first followed by all elements of the second. This is the second question in Sumita Arora book. Let's try with it. Suppose this is our array. We have to create, according to the question, 3 arrays. So we'll be inputting first 2 arrays for I in range 0, 10. A dot append int input enter value. This was the first array that we have taken as an input. Now we'll be entering the second array for I in range. And we'll write here b dot append input enter value. And according to the question, we have to first of all add the elements of the first array followed by all the elements of the second array. So we'll be doing for I in range 0, 10 C dot append A of I. So all the elements of A of I will go to C, which is an empty list. And again we'll be running a for loop for entering all the elements of B into it. 0, 10 C dot append B of I. And now we'll be doing what? We'll be printing our C list. Print C. So I'll save it by the name of list2.py. Sorry. This is print C. So first we are entering the values of the first array 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now it will be for the second array 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The last line which is giving you the output of C is having all the elements of A list first and then all the elements of the B list first. How did we do it? First of all, we had created 3 lists in which we had entered the first list and the second list separately. Then we had run a for loop for A list so that all its elements get appended to C list. Then again we ran a for loop for B list so that all its elements are appended to C list. And last of all, we are going to print C. Append means adding at the end. So when all the elements of A list have gone to C list, after that all the elements of B list will go to C. This was a second question in Sumita Arora. Then third question is saying that we ask the user to enter a list containing numbers between 1 and 12. Then replace all the entries in the list that are greater than 10 with 10. So let's see, we have to enter only one list according to the question. So suppose I have entered here A, but I want to write enter value between 1 and 12 according to the question. between 1 and 12. Now, what I have to do? The question says if any of the elements of a list is less than 10, you have to replace it with 10. So we will be running another for I loop, and here we are writing if a of I is less than 10. Since I told you in the last session that any element can be changed in the list because it is a mutable class, so I can easily change AI is equal to 10. According to the question, if any element is less than 10, replace it with 10. So at the end, let's see what is the output coming out. That means if any of the element is, greater than 10 was that. So we'll say A greater than 10. If any of the element is greater than 10, so it will replace all the values by 10. Let's see. I am entering here 2. Five, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 11. I have entered 3 numbers which were greater than 10, 11, 12, 11. All of them at the end have been replaced by 10. So what the logic was saying was, what did we do? According to the question, any element which was greater than 10 would be replaced by 10. So first of all, we had declared our list A. Then after that, in the for loop, we are writing a message, enter values between 1 and 12. Then we have run the loop again, and we are checking if any of the array element is greater than 10, then that position of AI will be replaced by 10. And last of all, we are printing A so that we can get the output. Now, this was the third question of Sumita Arora book. The fourth question is saying, ask the user to enter a list of strings. Create a new list that consists of those strings with the first characters removed. So let's see how to do this. Here, instead of writing int input, we'll directly say input. Enter a string. And we'll have to remove the first character of each and every string and then put it in the next list. That means we need 2 lists. So we'll be writing here if, first of all, let's take a copy of A of I in some other variable. Then we have to create a list, new list. So we'll write b.append. So if you people are well aware of string slicing, so we'll write here we'll write here b.append n1:2. What it will do, it will remove the 0 position of that string and put right from the first position till the end into p. Let's look at the output. So we have got a new list in which the first characters of each and every string is not there. Right? So how did we solve this problem? We had entered first some 10 strings in the list A. Then in the next loop, n is equal to a of I. So this time n will be considered to be a string. And in string, if we do string slicing, so b dot append mein n 1 is 2 means starting from the first position onwards till the end of the string. That means one word at a time is being taken and put into B list. Then we'll be printing B. This was the another question of Sumita Arora book. Then let's look at question number 6 of Sumita Arora, which says that write a program that takes any two lists L and M of the same size and adds the elements together to form a new list N, whose elements are sums of the corresponding elements in L and M. For instance, if L is 314 and M is 159, then it should be equal to 4, 6 and 13. So we have to take two elements to a list like L and M. This is L and M. So first we'll be taking L from the user. Since it will be integer, so we'll take int. And our message will change. Instead of enter a string, we'll say enter a value. Same type of loop will be for M array also, M list. And it will be like M dot append. Now our question says we have to add them up and put it in a new list. So we need a new list also like N is equal to. And we'll be doing here N dot append, which will be L of I plus M of I. So corresponding elements of L of I and M of I are being added. When I is at 0 position, the 0 position value of L will be picked up and the 0 position of M will be picked up, and both of them will be added to be put into N list. And then we will be printing N. Similarly, when I becomes 1, then the first position of L and the first position of M list will be added to get the output. The sum will be added and put into N. Let's see the output. First, we'll be entering some elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Suppose in the next list I am putting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So what it was doing? How did I get this 5 over here? When one of the first list and 2 of this list was added, we get here 3. Then 4 of this list and 2 of that list will be added to give you 6, and so on. So we get a new list. This was question number 6 of Sumita Arora. Similarly, we can do more of them. That means I have helped you out to solve at least 3 to 4 questions so that the concept becomes clear how to use lists. In the next part, we'll be coming out with searching and sorting. And if you have understood the concept, press the like button and subscribe to our channel.